NASA's James Webb Space Telescope has hardly opened its eyes, and the universe is new.
There are moments in human history that split time in two. Moments when what we thought we knew gets quietly rewritten, and the universe leans in, just for a second, to show us something new. This is one of those moments. Imagine looking into the deepest darkness you can fathom, so black, so final, that not even light can escape. For as long as we've known about black holes, they've existed like the monsters of science, enigmatic, cold, merciless. We knew they were real, but only by what they touched, never by what they were. We saw stars bend around them, gas flare in wild spirals toward them, radiation howl from the edges before being swallowed whole. But never, not once, did we see what was inside. Until now, high above Earth, 1.5 million kilometers away, floating in the vast stillness beyond the moon's orbit, the James Webb Space Telescope opened its golden eyes, designed not just to look far, but to look deep, to see into the veils of time and dust the universe has hidden from us. And somewhere in that still silence, it turned toward a black hole, a monstrous one, looming at the center of a nearby galaxy. It had been studied before. Scientists had seen it spewing enormous jets of energy, roaring into space like a silent engine of destruction. But this time, it wasn't the outside that caught our attention. It was something else, something impossible. For decades, black holes have stood like locked vaults. The event horizon, the point of no return, was the edge of all knowing. Beyond it, everything disappeared. Light, matter, time itself. It all fell inward and never came back. But when Webb looked, it didn't just see the chaos outside that boundary. It saw something beyond it, a whisper, a signal, a heartbeat. At first, the data made no sense. Patterns flickered and faded in the readings, confusing, faint, almost dismissible. But they kept appearing, over and over from different black holes in different parts of the sky. And the strangest thing, they weren't just noise, they were organized. The implications hit like thunder. Something inside the event horizon was sending out a signal. Not through normal channels, not in ways that make sense to our everyday physics. But there it was, flickering at the very edge of what Webb could detect, in certain wavelengths, narrow and specific, as if they'd found a crack in the wall. And through that crack, something moved. It's like staring into a sealed room you've only imagined from the outside. And suddenly you hear footsteps. Webb's instruments, finely tuned to capture the faintest echoes of the cosmos, picked up structured electromagnetic patterns from within. The kind of structure that shouldn't exist in a place where space and time are supposed to fall apart. The place where everything ends. And yet, this wasn't an end. It was movement, pattern, rhythm. Scientists watching the data began to realize something extraordinary. Inside what we thought was an eternal void, something was happening. Matter wasn't just vanishing into a singular point. It was interacting, moving, organizing. There were fluctuations, ripples in radiation, subtle changes in light and energy. Not random, but consistent, predictable, like waves across the surface of something hidden and deep. And those waves told us something we weren't ready to hear, that black holes may not be tombs at all, but something more. What Webb glimpsed wasn't an accident. It wasn't a glitch or a ghost in the machine. It was a pattern, steady and real. It defied our understanding, but it didn't ignore it. It asked us to look again, to wonder again. Because maybe, just maybe, we were wrong about black holes. Maybe they aren't the places where everything ends. Maybe there's something else entirely. As more data streamed in, the confusion gave way to something far more unsettling: clarity. The patterns James Webb had captured weren't random static lost in a void. They pulsed, oscillated, and echoed in a way that defied every theory we once held sacred. Within what was supposed to be a place of collapse and silence, there was a strange kind of order, a system of interactions, energy exchanges, even rhythms that played out over time. Not chaos, but harmony. What could that mean? Inside a black hole, the very embodiment of destruction, there was structure. Webb's eyes had pierced a veil we never thought could be lifted. It was like staring into the heart of a hurricane and discovering a quiet city inside, alive with movement and mystery. The gravitational forces at play should have ripped anything to shreds, pulled every atom beyond recognition. And yet, something in there was not only resisting, but dancing. And in the quiet rooms of observatories around the world, the question began to rise. One no scientist wanted to ask out loud just yet. What if black holes are not just dead ends, but beginnings? To say this discovery shook the foundations of modern physics would be putting it lightly. Everything we believed, every equation, every elegant theory passed down since Einstein, says nothing escapes a black hole. Light cannot outrun gravity. Time slows to a stop. Space folds in on itself. The singularity is final. The end. But Webb, with its infrared sensors tuned to the language of the universe's earliest moments, found something whispering back from the other side. Not light in the usual sense, not energy leaking from the edges, but a signature, a signal that suggests matter inside the black hole might still be doing something, interacting, vibrating, maybe even transforming. What kind of matter could survive such unimaginable pressure? Could this be a new phase of reality, a form of existence we've never seen before? Quantum theorists began speaking in hushed tones about Planck stars, hypothetical cores that never truly collapse, held up not by the laws of gravity, but by the strange pushback of quantum pressure. For years, those were just ideas scrawled on blackboards. Now maybe they had a pulse. Some of the signals Webb recorded seemed to fluctuate at regular intervals, almost like a heartbeat buried in spacetime. As if, inside the black hole, time itself hadn't stopped, but changed, begun to flow in strange, looping patterns. This wasn't just a machine devouring everything it touched. It might be something far more complex, a system, a process, perhaps even a cycle. And then came the most chilling revelation of all. Some signals repeated, not randomly, not by chance. Webb caught echoes, patterns that seemed to match across multiple black holes, separated by millions of light years. How could that be possible? Was it just coincidence? A trick of the data? Or was there something universal at work? Something fundamental to the way black holes form, exist, and evolve? Scientists began running simulations on Earth's most powerful computers, trying to match Webb's data. The only models that came close were the ones that allowed space-time to behave like a fluid, not a rigid structure. A foam of quantum interactions, seething and alive beneath the surface of what we call gravity. These simulations showed black holes not as empty pits, but as regions filled with motion, densely packed but organized. As if the collapse wasn't into nothingness, but into something else, something new. This possibility that inside a black hole lies not death, but complexity, turns our understanding of the universe on its head. These aren't just cosmic vacuum cleaners erasing the past. They might be rewriting it, encoding it, turning matter and information into something unrecognizable to us, but not meaningless. It was once said that black holes are the ultimate expression of entropy, that everything falls in, breaks apart, and dies. But now, peering in with Webb, we're beginning to think we may have misunderstood. In the darkest place we know, we have found a strange and beautiful order. And with that discovery, a quiet realization settles over all of us. The universe is not done surprising us, not even close. As the days passed and the data deepened, something shifted, not just in laboratories, not just in papers or simulations, but in the hearts of the people watching. Scientists, yes, but also dreamers, poets, philosophers. Children who once looked up at the stars with wonder were now staring into black holes, and finding that wonder staring back. The universe, it seemed, had pulled back the curtain just a little, and what it revealed wasn't terror. It wasn't a monster waiting in the dark. It was something alive with complexity, something profoundly elegant, nestled within the most extreme corner of reality. The question that haunted everyone was simple. What does this mean? If matter, energy, even information, can survive inside a black hole, then black holes aren't what we thought. They aren't tombstones marking the end of existence. They are questions we haven't yet learned how to ask. They are puzzles wrapped in space and sealed by gravity. Yes, but not locked forever. Some theorists dared to go further. What if black holes weren't just places where matter falls in, but where something new is born? Could they be bridges? Could they connect distant parts of our universe, or even other universes entirely? The multiverse, once the stuff of imagination, suddenly felt closer. Less like fiction, more like a door we just found a keyhole to. The idea that information could escape, or at least be transformed, in a black hole breathes new life into some of the most debated problems in science. It means the universe may not be a cold machine, grinding down to heat death. It may be cyclical. It may renew itself, evolve, dream through the physics we barely understand. And if that's true, then black holes aren't just gravitational prisons. They're part of the grand design. And what does that mean for us? It means that death as we know it, even on the scale of galaxies, is not the end. That something survives, something changes, something continues. It means that no matter how deep the darkness, no matter how final the fall, there may always be something beyond. A pattern, a rhythm, a signal that refuses to be silenced. This is more than science. This is a story that began billions of years ago in the roaring fire of the first stars, and now through the lens of the James Webb Space Telescope, continues to unfold. This story tells us that we are part of something far more mysterious than we ever imagined. Because when we pointed the most powerful eye we've ever built at the darkest place in the universe, we didn't just see destruction, we saw motion, we saw organization, we saw life of a different kind, strange, subtle, alien, but unmistakably real. And maybe, just maybe, that's the message the universe has been trying to send us all along. That nothing is ever truly lost. That even in the heart of gravity's grasp, something endures, something pulses, something speaks. The James Webb Space Telescope has done more than make a discovery. It has given us a glimpse into a new chapter of cosmic understanding, one that says the end is not the end, one that says even in silence there is song. So we keep watching, we keep listening, because somewhere in the endless black, something is waiting, and now we know how to find it.